blocked again by the Indian player, and that's Yukra Pandyan. And Pandyan doing a great job at the net. You can see where he has the Chinese players confused a fair bit. India have quite a lot of support in the stadium, but that one just a little bit too long, and it's 4-6, 5-6 now for China, and they have the service, and it's going to come from their number 14. This is Xu Jintao. Soft service, deceived the Indian player there. It just dipped and dipped, and he thought he was going to reach it, but unfortunately for Pravagarian, just wasn't able to get to it. And in the back of his shirt you have Prabha. Rescued, set, blocked. Now they can set it, and they set it for the right-sided hitter. Another good point. Another good point for the Indian side. 7-6. They have the service. 1 point away from the first technical timeout. That was Naveen Rajat Jacob, and the referee on the far side, Ahmed Al Tarfi from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, says it was a double hit by the Chinese players, maybe the two hands, and then he awards the point to India, and they lead by 8 points to 6. So what a great start for the Indian side. Dr. Bir Singh Yadev would be very, very happy with that. There's one of the local commentators broadcasting here for United Arab Emirates, and we have Chinese commentators right beside us here. There's a view of some of the supporters that are in here watching this exciting day of quarterfinal volleyball. You see the players milling around there, the coaches having words to say. Team on the top of your screen in the white with the red shorts, the team from China. Strongly fancied, and let's be honest, a lot of the Indians came into this as underdogs. They're here as underdogs, but I'll tell you what, they're a very good side. Good rescue. Chip over the top. Oh, the man that was coming in, one player reaching back. And that was Pragarian, reached back. And you can see he just flicked it, and right behind him coming in was the libero, and he would have got to it. Bangchan Nishaka. So it is still India 7-8, China with the service. Rescued by the Chinese, and then they go across court, and that's off court as well. So India out by 9 points to 7. The service to come from the Indian player, and that was Vishnav. But the Chinese are able to put that one away. It's going to be a quick change when the Chinese have the service. It's the number 12 who comes out, Navshit, and the libero, the number 14, gone in. Pankashaka. Oh, that's too long. Overhit, way overhit by the Chinese number 18, Ji Daoshui. The blocks got over the two blockers that were there for India, and it was right down on the floor. Service with China. This is Liang Chunlong. The Indians are able to get it up, but they just are able to just pat it back. And here's the chance for the Chinese, and this time there's the spike, and the spike hit by the number 7 for China, and that is Zhang Weiju. And it's tied up now at 10 points each. Service to come. Oh, good spike. Good spike by the Indian player. Running around, it was Vishnav. And he was able to put that away, found some vacant space. Service. Prabhagalan. But the Chinese are staying with them, and that's 11 points each. Here's the service from the Chinese number 3. This is Yuan Xie. Oh, nice spike again by the number 11. And that was Vishnav again. Vishnav is 22 years of age, stands 6'4", and plays with the Tamil Nadu club in India. Rescued, but the whistle is gone, and that was one of the Indian players infringing the rules. And you can see there, he came in, touched the net, his hands went over the net. And the point goes to China, and we're all tied up at 12 points each. Oh, the service was deep, it was hard. The possible chances are that it would have gone off court. Let's have a look at it. Yes, it would have gone off court. It hit the Indian player high up on the arms, and it would have flown past him and gone out. But he played at it. And that one is long. Just too long. So he won a very good point, Zhao Weiju. But now he's given one away. Service from India. This is Gurinder Singh. Good point for China. Gurinder Singh, if memory serves me right, there was another gentleman with the same name, was a very good cricket player for India. But this man is a volleyball player, and a good one too. Here's the service. Picked up, set, and spiked, and put away. A nice piece of setting, and the put away came from Navjit Singh, 22 years of age, and he's 6'8", and he plays with the ONGC club. Service from India with Naveen Rajat Jacob. Oh yes, good piece of setting by the Chinese that time, and that was Liang Chulong. China 15, India 14. China could get to the technical timeout, second technical timeout, if this service from Li Runming can become good. No, it doesn't. Goes into the net from, I don't know what to call that side of the net, because we've had a lot of problems all day with the teams serving from that end. Don't know what it is, but this time the Chinese don't make too many mistakes, and they're able to get the point and take us to this technical timeout at 16-15. Just to mention, in the earlier match I mentioned that we had services in the first of the quarterfinals between Thailand and Japan. Japan won that, but in that game we saw a lot of service errors coming from the right-hand side of your screen, the side that the Chinese are playing from in this match. And before that, in a previous round, we had the Iraqi team chalking up a lot of mistakes from that end. And then after the first quarterfinal started with Japan and Thailand, we then had the same situation with Iran and Lebanon. It's not that there's a hill or anything. All sides of the court are level. But it just is strange that a lot of the service faults are coming from one side. Normally they're usually pretty equal. But in this case, the services are faulting, coming from the side that the Chinese are now going to serve from. A lot of them hitting the net. Let's see what happens with this one. Now this one went over, floated it in the air. Now the Indians can come forward and get a point through their number 17, Gurinder Singh, the captain. But we've already seen Iran make a lot of mistakes through the servicing from that end. And we've seen the Chinese do likewise. But there's a great block. And that has knocked the ball back onto court, on right behind all of the Chinese players. And it means that India are back in front, 17-16. Good service, rescued, set by the Chinese, but the Indians keep it, and then they knock it back, but the point is gone, and the blast on the referee's whistle. Amin Al-Tarfi from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia says that there was a lift of the ball with his hand, as catching the ball, not allowed in this game. Set. Rescued at the back by the Chinese. Then the block, and that went off the fingers and the arms of the two Indian players that were over there. The number 17, I think it may have came off Gurinder. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, it did. It hit Gurinder on the outside. And it's China out in front, 18-17. Good crossfield shot, nicely chipped over. Chipped over by the Indian player Gurinder Singh. He's having a good game at the moment, the captain for the Indian side. He's not the tallest player. I'd have to say that looking down on the court, Vishnav is the tallest player on the side. He looks a big, tall, strong man. Here's the service going to come from the Indian side, and it came from Garian. And Treb Agarian sees his service knocked home and driven home by the Chinese, who are back in front by a point. China 19, India 18. I'm not going to mention it anymore. Service coming from that end of the stadium. And the timeout called, oh no, substitution I should say. Substitution by the Indian team, and they've taken out the number 18, Naveen, and the number 10 has gone in, Lavmit Nataryan. Good spike. Good spike by the Chinese team. Change again, the number 18 going back in for number 18 going back in for India, and that is Naveen. The number 10, Levmet Katayan, comes out. Oh, that's nice play. Flicked up by the Indian and put away. Just see it here. He just flicked it up, and his on-running spiker there came in and knocked it. You see the number 12 from India, Navjit, just left it bypass him. Kept up by the Indians. They can get it back. They can't do an attack. Oh, but two of the Chinese players make a terrible mess of that. And it is India out by 21 points to 20, and a timeout called. And the timeout called by the Chinese coach. And the Chinese coach having a chat with the players. Indian coach seems to be pretty happy away to our left. Blast on the whistle from Mustafa Grad from Lebanon, the second official. And the players are ready to go back on court. The number 14 for India, the libero, Pankaj Sharka. Out there discussing the formation with his teammates. There's the service, put up. Inside they go to the middle blockers. There was the middle hitter and the middle blockers, and it went off their hands. Point goes to China. Chinese number 14, Xu Jingtao with the service. Oh, that's good spike, but they got it back. Came off his ankle. And then they go back to the well, and they get it this time. They're able to put it away. The Indian player, Navjit Singh, was able to spike that one down. You see there the first one, and then it ricocheted off the player and hit the coach. That's what you would call a double hit, hitting the coach of the Chinese team. There's the spike, but there's the block. And the block has taken it back in. And India, with their number 13, Prabhakaran, take a lead of 2 points over China in this, the first set, 23-21. Could this be a little bit of an upset here? India going to take a set off at China. Let's see what happens. Good service as well. Went straight down the line. Set by the Chinese, but put out a play. So it gives India set points. An appeal by the Chinese number 15, Li Runming, and a timeout called by the Chinese coach, Shi Gaocheng, wants a word with his players. They trail by 24 points to 21. So he doesn't like to look at that scoreboard up there which says China 21, India 24. So he's having a long chat with them in there, as long as he can get 30 seconds. And the Indian coach, I can tell you, Dr. Bar Singh Yadev, and his assistants, Hotmat Basavara, also having a lot to say, but they work very well together. And now the Indian side have 1 point away from taking this first set. And the service is going to come from Naveen. There's the service. Oh, he hit the net. Sometimes it might be advisable for coaches not to take timeouts like that, but they can't do anything when the opposition take the timeout. But you see, they go back out on court, and they have a lot of things swimming in their head. And then when Naveen was trying the service, you know, he hears something, one thing from a coach, another thing from a fellow player. One says go for it with a bomb of a service, another will say float it, others will say push it up. Unfortunately, you get caught between all the stools, all the suggestions. But it's China with the serve, and they are trailing by 2 points against India. China 22, India 24. Service to come from Li Runming. And you hear the crowd rescued. Now they can set it, the Indians. They come to this side, and they float it down, and they've done it. The Indian team have taken out the first set against China by 25 points to 22. Much to the delight of all of those Indian supporters on the far side and on this side as well. Did you see the block by the Chinese player there, Chung Long, and the delight of the Indian player Navid as he moves away. So in the third quarterfinal, it is India over China by 25 points to 22.